make sure to maintain here as they get set to get themselves ready for the regular season.
On the opening possession, here is Dadier kicking out and turning it over. So it'll be Philadelphia basketball. We talk about Nick Nurse, who you brought up, year 3 at the helm. Well, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Jared McCain, a combined 193 games missed last season. But they believe that if they can get George and Embiid healthy, they've got the guard play as we get an illegal screen here. Really intriguing team heading into this season. There's no denying Philadelphia's upside in terms of the talent that they possess.
And that's kind of something that we've talked about through the course of every single season. And so that's going to be a wait-and-see process. But for some of the young players, the youth, of course, BJ Edgecombe getting an opportunity to see him, you know how high that the group has been on what he's been able to showcase here early on.
Dadier lets it fly and is sure. Robinson can't reel it in. Here comes Philadelphia on the other end, and a foul from behind. Off the take by Kelly Oubre Jr.
First foul going to be charged to the Knicks. Mikal Bridges, first personal. First
foul to Mikal Bridges, so it's the 11th year man in Kelly Oubre.
For the 76ers.
15 and 6 this past year he averaged with Philadelphia.
And you had mentioned it with Philadelphia, just the lack of consistency and continuity with some of their key players being on the floor, having time together. Very opposite story for this Knicks team. You look at last season, the starters played 940 minutes together, most of any 5-man unit in the league. But I think that's where the question marks come into what does the style of play look like under Mike Brown, the creativity, the explosiveness and dynamicness that's anticipated out of maybe some of the changes he will make with the context of the offense. Can they still keep that defensive identity? But you've got a group of players who achieved a tremendous amount last season, looking to build on that.
Defense from Oubre, and he picks the pocket of Bridges in transition. The Sixers convert. It's Tyrese Maxey.
Nice quick start. Defensive pressure, you see that out of the gates. That's something that Tyrese Maxey absolutely can do. But Kelly Oubre now coming to the table with it, quick on the push, looking for get-aheads. And that's a characteristic of how a team, especially with Maxey, will play in the speed that he has, both with the ball in his hands and also just continuing to get it up the court.
Already year 6 for Tyrese Maxey. That 3 off for Edgecombe, and here come the Knicks. New York with 51 wins in the regular season last year, their most since 2012-13 when they won 54. Brunson trying to corral, he does. Mitchell Robinson battling for the rebound. Dadier comes down with it, and one.
That's a great energy for Dadier, his ability to stay with the play. You see some collapses, some quick traps. Obviously, the aggressiveness of the defense we have already mentioned, but here just the activity. Give credit to Mitch Robinson, too, for keeping that ball alive. And that's, you're seeing the size across the line for this New York Knicks team. Between Robinson, you got Dadier, Karl-Anthony Towns on the table, and that's going to be the optionality that these lineups bring, pending what they do and what Mike Brown chooses to do with the depth of this bench.
That's a big question, and we'll get to it throughout the show, but they bring in Jordan Clarkson, Gershon Yabusele, as that is just pretty from Maxey.
Yeah, he's such a fun player to watch. 2 seasons ago, an all-star. You mentioned the 76ers, and down last year, it was the first time they had missed the playoffs in 7 seasons. But he is a key cog to this, and anyone you talk to out of the 76ers camp will say that. Not only his play on the court, but the leadership.
Dadier off. Nice job by Robinson defensively. Bridges comes up with it. Mikal Bridges, catch and shoot. He's off. Robinson taken away by Edgecombe. Edgecombe out of Baylor. Alley-oop to ADEM BONA, who's been getting rave reviews from Nick Nurse.
He has, because for as much as we're talking about Joel Embiid, the size in the front court, without him, who are going to be some of those players that fill the spots? And Bona is someone who they have liked what they have seen so far, and you can understand why.
Got stripped. It'll stay with Philadelphia.
And that ball goes out of bounds last.
This was nasty.
Yeah, I mean, just a good up there by Edgecombe. And little loss from behind, miscommunication, and breakdown in transition defense for New York. And again, this is what the preseason is about. Everything is not going to be perfect. You're going to continue to build on work on things that we may see as breakdowns. Just all a part of the process of figuring out how you're going to play and get your legs, your feet under you again for the uptick of intensity in game action.
Shot clock down to 8. It's stopped by the Knicks. Dadier with the defense on Barlow. Here comes Brunson. Brunson fouled on the take.
And we have Philadelphia
Jalen Brunson, what a season last year for this superstar. 26 and close to 8 assists per game. And Sarah, he just continued to help his reputation and everything else around the association with what he did in leading the Knicks to their first ECF in a quarter century.
The steadiness, the composure, he just has a beautiful ability to organize a team and give what's needed when it's needed. Always, you know, you saw so many moments, of course, the clutch player of the year, but reasons why, and it is that ability to have the same mentality, disposition, it seems, regardless. And you see it there. And I think that's too when we're talking about Mike Brown and taking over, what that looks like. And he has mentioned the fast pace of this offense and how he wants to continue to quicken things up and what that may look like for adjustments or changes in some of the play of a player in Jalen Brunson who was absolutely extraordinary in all NBA the last 2 years.
Oubre off, rebound for Philadelphia here. Fresh 14, here comes Maxey. Head of steam, Maxey to Bona.
Man, Maxey turns on the Jets, and he can get wherever he wants to on the floor, and you're seeing the players around him doing a really good job of using their spacing, the balance, and then cutting off of it when he forces help.
Brunson cannot hit, but Robinson slams it back.
Mitchell Robinson.
Here comes Maxey. Trying to find Bona again, and blocking foul underneath on New York. Bona's been plenty active.
Well, it's been plenty active, and here you see Mitch Robinson active there on the offensive glass, what they anticipate out of him. And on the other side, once again, Maxey, good job in this little give and go, and that dunker spot has worked well for this Philadelphia 76ers team. Everyone continues to step up and try and collapse, show a little traffic, and they've been working the backside.
Stays on this end, still Philly basketball.
Jabari Walker checking in for Barlow, and the Sixers will convert easily there. Tyrese Maxey came ready for the Abu Dhabi games.
Came ready. Some preseason defense that we're seeing a little bit here on the New York Knicks side of things. But for Philadelphia, they come through the lane and get to the places on the floor they want.
Nice dish from Towns. Dadier can't connect. Robinson gets tackled, and he'll head to the line.
And this Philadelphia foul is going to be charged.
Mitchell Robinson, he talked with the media at Knicks Media Day. And the biggest thing he talked about was the fact that over the past 3 years, he's been banged up. He's only played in 43% of the team's games. But he said, you know what, I got back in the lab. I worked on myself. Sarah, he started his own farm over the offseason.
Oh, okay.
He brought in experts.
Let's go.
Went all organic. He's been eating all healthy, all organic. He said, I feel cleaner. I feel ready for this season.
That's a big part of it. In the progress for every player as they get accustomed to what they need to do. Him now in his 8th year, 27 years old. He isn't a contract year, but you said it. And I think, you know, you kind of tongue-in-cheek, we say this a lot about players coming into the preseason and feeling like they're in the best shape of their life, but he really does feel that way. And you look at the last couple of years, 59 games, 2 seasons ago, 31 a season ago, last year 17 games. And so for him, you know, for as much as we always say, it's just about being available to be on the court, because when he has been, you see it, you know, so often, just the presence and rim protection that he can create.
Maxey had that altered by Robinson. Good defensive possession by the Knicks. Here's Bridges. Mikal Bridges.
Quick get ahead. Good leak out. Mikal Bridges, another player, signed a nice big contract extension this offseason. Piece of this core of this New York Knicks team that's excited about what they believe.